Hi, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all, and I hope that you had a great weekend. Well, a lot of people like to say that Monday is a tough day as it is the beginning of another working week. But if you look at things from a perspective which is bright, Monday can be a beautiful starting day where we can look forward to another fruitful week. Wherever you are, I hope you're relaxed, feeling comfortable, joining us in our webinar now. Some simple housekeeping rules to be kept, yeah? Please mute your microphone at all times because we do not want the session to be interrupted, but feel free to turn on your video if you wish. Well, the topic for today's webinar is Halal Certification Series number 2. With that topic, you would know that we did organize the first webinar on similar topic. Yes, series number 1. And it was actually held end of last year. If I remember the date correctly, it should be 30th November last year. And we received many inquiries after that asking, when will the next one be organized? As many would like to know more about the technical aspects, and the regulations governing the application, the different stages and the process until the final issuance of Halal certification. And it does not surprise any one of us, I'm sure, because Halal-related businesses is huge and significant, and it is still growing and increasing. Now, our speaker is someone very knowledgeable, well-informed, who can share valuable insight of how we can apply for Halal certificate. But before that, we have important guests with us today. And they are none other than Dato' Tan Tian Ming, Secretary General for ACCIM, and Dato' Liao Chun Liang, National Council Member of ACCIM and Chairman of ACCIM Commerce Committee. Without further ado, let's begin by warmly inviting Yang Berbahagia Dato' Tan Tian Ming, the Secretary General of ACCIM, to deliver his opening remarks. Over to you, Dato'.
Thank you, Sherry. Dato' Liao Chun Liang, Chairman of Commerce Committee, Ustaz Muhammad Jabbar, Speaker of this seminar, Madam Sherite, the moderator of this event, my fellow colleagues and members of ACCIM, members of the press. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I'm pleased to welcome you to getting your business to be Halal certified, which is the second episode of ACCIM Halal webinar series. The world is witnessing a paradigmatic shift in business thinking and consumer trends. By adopting environmental, social, governance, ESG, as well as Islamic practice in their business operations. As the world's second largest religious group, there are an estimated 1.9 billion Muslims worldwide, making up approximately 24% of the world population. In other words, there is a probability that 1 in 4 people you meet may probably be Muslim. I think this fact speaks for itself. In fact, the halal market is not exclusive to Muslims. Non-Muslim consumers have become more aware of the halal concept and attach great significance to it. Subsequently, global demand for the halal certified product and services will also increase. For my Muslim friends and those who practice halal, I believe you have the experience traveling overseas with local halal certified ready-to-eat food bags or instant noodle in your bag. You would probably do research on halal restaurant, accommodation or souvenir to purchase before traveling to a non-Muslim country. You may even check with the restaurant owner to ensure their authenticity. As such, to obtain halal certification can serve as the mediator for mutual trust between sellers and buyers. Halal certified products or services are treated as a guarantee for consumers, as it is ultimate evidence of high quality with meeting specific standards. Halal certification can also be used as one of the marketing tools to tap into the lucrative halal market. Further to the implementation of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (RCEP) on 18 March 2022, aiming to ease trade barriers among participating countries. Businesses are encouraged to obtain halal certification to expand their export markets. At the same time, creating nominal effect to attract high quality investment from foreign and domestic companies into Malaysia. It also responds to government initiative Go Global with this certification. The opening of the border on 1st April 2022 will see the local tourism industry bouncing back to its periodic peak. Food being a form of tourist attraction, the play an important role. The accessibility to a variety of halal cuisine will be a great draw for Muslim tourists to Malaysia, thus making their visit to more welcoming and culminating in a positive experience. As Malaysians, we love our foods and we're proud of its diversity. Praise to our multiracial and multicultural community. We get to savor foods of other ethnics anytime, anywhere. Before ending my speech, I would like to thank Ustaz Muhammad Jabbar for once again accepting ACCCIM invitation to speak for today's section. Your willingness to share your time and expertise on halal industry will benefit the business community. I wish all participants a fruitful section. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tan. It is a big news to hear you say, Dr. Tan, that there are 1.9 billion Muslims worldwide, and that translates to 24% of the world population. Huge number, isn't it? Well, I did a little research myself. Apparently, the halal industry is expected to contribute 8.1% to our country's GDP and generate ringgit 56 billion export revenue in 2025 compared to ringgit 30.6 billion in 2020. And this is according to the 12 Malaysia Plan document released by EPU end of last year. And it is also said that Malaysia will be positioned as a global halal hub. You know, the halal supply chain would improve and Malaysia would be promoted as the prime destination of halal investment to various international platforms such as ASEAN, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, in short OIC, and Chambers of Commerce. Isn't it interesting? And the regional network and distribution channels of local large companies and multinational companies, MNCs, would be leveraged in promoting export-oriented products and services. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I invite our speaker, I just want to mention that you can actually post questions in the chat box. Our speaker has kindly consented to take some questions from the audience after his presentation, and his presentation is going to take about 35 to 40 minutes. Well, for your information, our speaker today is none other than Ustaz Muhammad Jabbar. He's well known in the industry for halal training and consultancy. He has been collaborating with various entrepreneurs and professionals to develop halal systems in their businesses through his practical workshops. And in recent years, he has been appointed as Technical Pengajar Hala under Jakim Hala Professional Board. So he is really very qualified to talk about this topic because we just can't wait, for Ustaz to do his presentation. So without further ado, we now invite Ustaz Muhammad Jabbar to deliver his presentation on getting your business to be halal certified. The floor is yours, Ustaz.
Thanks, Madam Shirley, for the warm introduction. And thanks to Datuk Tan for the welcome speech. Thanks to Datuk Leong Chun Ling for the attended, being attending and welcome us here. All right. Thanks again to the ACCIMs because your willingness to invite me from our team to be part of the seminar for today. Right. Again, my name is Jabal. I will share my slide presentation now. Right. So I think everyone can see my slide now. Right. Right. So today we're going to talk about the getting your business halal certified. Previously, in November, we have talking about the general, not the general requirement, but basically we have discussed about the potentials of a halal industry, what to do and don'ts in halal industry, what is normally the issue in halal industry. But today we're going to discuss further about the requirement of halal certification. And for your information, it will be a little bit technical. So please pay attention. So at the same time, should you have any question, we're going to use some time to ask questions so I can explain a little bit furthermore. Yeah. All right. So this is going to be 4 main topics that we're going to discuss today. First is eligibility to apply. Second, we're going to talk about the 17 requirement of certification, halal certification, Malaysia halal certification specifically. And then we're going to discuss about the stage of application, followed by the why normally your application will be rejected. Okay, first, eligibility to apply, kelayakan. This is the conditions and criteria for the halal, Malaysia halal certification. First, you need to be a registered company. Yeah, you need to have your own SSM license, company registration with SSM. And then at the same time, your location also need to be licensed, yeah, by the local authorities, PBT. Yeah. And then secondly, you may need to have specific license. For example, if you are pharmaceutical, if you are fall under pharmaceutical industry, you need to have something like MAL and notification from the NPRA, National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency. If you are the slaughterhouse, you need to have veterinary certification scheme or certificate of valid letter support from the JPV, Jabatan Perkhidmatan Veteriner, or Department of Veterinary Service. Okay, all right. And then you need to be in operation for new application. It has to be fully operational for at least 3 months prior to application. And then if you have moved your location, okay, so you need to have at least 1 month operation. Yeah, then you need to submit or you need to inform JAKIM or Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri that you have moved to new location. All right, and then number 4, the most important thing is you need to only produce, handle, trade or service halal product only or halal raw material only. You cannot have this under the same roof, one for halal product and another one room for the non-halal product. You cannot have that. Yeah, under one roof, under one premise, all must be halal. All right, and then if you have like 10 SKUs, you need to apply for all 10 SKU. Yeah, you cannot have like 10 SKU, but you want only to be certified for 5 SKU. You cannot do that. It has to be all SKUs. Yeah. Okay, and one of the most important thing is to have a halal supporting document. Halal supporting document could be various. Yeah, it could be halal certificates, depends on your type of ingredients, and then product specification for the less critical ingredients, and then we also need to look at your graphic of product labeling. So product labeling at the same time need to be in line with Food Act requirement. Yeah, right. And then next, no misleading terms. Yeah, company name product, menu, ingredients, and brand of the product apply. Do not utilize the word halal or any other risk presentation, or are characterized in any way that indicates it can be used by Muslim. For example, you want to use some Arabic term. In Islam, we have something we call the name of God, or Asma'ul Husna. For example, you want to name your product after Muhammad. Okay, it's not permitted because it's in other way. Even though if you are not halal certified, you are trying to representing that you are halal and suitable for Muslim to consume. So it is not permitted. Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is one of the important information that you need to know. Okay. Condition and criteria for halal application. Number one, this is the most important document, the most important reference that you need to refer every time you want to do your application. The document called Manual Procedure for Malaysia Halal Certification, Domestic 2020. This is the latest version of Manual Procedure. So where you can obtain this document is by log on to www.halal.gov.my. It's free and you can have it there. Yeah. So this document shall be named the Malaysian Halal Domestic. Mean it's the purpose of this document is for the reference of the local or Malaysian company in Malaysia, located in Malaysia. Okay, certification manual procedure 2020 here in after referred to as the manual procedure. This manual procedure is published based on Trade Discretion Act 2011 in bracket Act 730 through subparagraph 7 in bracket 2, Trade Discretion Order Halal Certification and Marking 2011. In other words, it means this halal manual procedure is in line with Trade Discretion Act. So in Malaysia, we don't have specific halal act unless it is mentioned under Trade Discretion Act 2011. All right. Third, so this manual procedure shall be referred to and apply to companies and all applicants for Malaysian halal certification that, number one, registered locally or abroad and conduct manufacturing and production of product and or services in Malaysia. Okay. This manual procedure should be referred to and read in conjunction with the MHMS 2022. MHMS is Malaysia Halal Management System. Yeah. And then MS mean Malaysian Standard, fatwa, and then relevant legislation or regulations and circulars applicable in Malaysian halal certification. Okay, for example, we have talked earlier, one of the most important document that you need to share with the JAKIM or the Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri is your local license, local authority license, SSM license. That is the most important document. If you don't have this kind of document, you are not eligible to apply. Yeah. All right. And then fifth, this manual procedure shall enforce on the date specified by the competent authority in the Malaysian halal certification, and all personnel involved in the Malaysian halal certification must comply with this procedure manual. So that means this is the main reference for the all applicant before they are making their own application. You need to understand, you need to know, you need to interpret well. Yeah, you need to know how to translate all this information, all this requirement in your premise. Yeah. All right. In other words, okay, based on the act, based on the Trade Decision Act, halal certification in Malaysia is not compulsory. For industry to have Malaysia halal certification, it is not compulsory. Yeah, it is the voluntary basis application. But at the same time, even though it is a voluntary application, everyone or all applicants must obey, must understand, and must comply with all the requirements. So then only you are eligible and you are competent to be halal certified by JAKIM or Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri. Okay. This is the non-eligible company to apply. First, a non-halal products or menu. If you are serving or offering non-halal products or menu, you are not eligible to apply. And then if you are producing, distributing all brand halal and non-halal goods at the same time, you have one brand. Yeah, for example, brand ABC. So under brand ABC, you have halal product and non-halal product. So it is not permitted. Yeah. And then product without standards or guidelines. For example, in Malaysia, we have a lot of type of products. Yeah, other than F&B, some of the company, they are trying to get their product halal certified, such as crockery, their plate, their spoon, their fork. They want it to be halal certified. So it is not eligible because there is no halal standard for us to refer. There is no guideline for us to refer if you want to let you apply for the particular product. Yeah. Right. And then misleading, confusing, and has negative implications for religion and society. For example, karaoke center. Yeah, karaoke center. I have experience where this company, they want their karaoke center to be halal certified. The main reason is because they want whoever attend, whoever visit their center, while they are singing, they want to enjoy halal food. They want the visitor, the guest to enjoy halal food. But again, it is not permitted because there is some perception, yeah, some perception that saying a karaoke center is also not a good place, not a proper place. Yeah, there is a bad implications towards karaoke center. So for that, karaoke center is not permitted to apply or not eligible to apply. All right, and then natural product that have been processed, that have not been processed, have not been modified, and have not been packaged or labeled. For example, if you are producing fresh vegetables and fresh fish from your own farm, okay, it is not eligible to apply for halal certification. Reason being is because that product is particularly naturally halal and no need halal certification. Yeah, no issue for the fresh product. Yeah, unless if there is process involved, then you need to apply for it. You are eligible to apply for it. For example, you took harvesting time for the fish from the farm, and then what you did is you bring the fish to your own processing center, okay? And then you cut into pieces, freeze it, and then you put it in a packaging. Okay, that will be eligible, yeah? All right, and then company name or product name, they are deceptive, or non-halal product synonyms. Yeah? For example, something like bacon. Yeah, so bacon, something like ham, something like bal kuteh. It is well known or very synonym with non-halal raw material. So it is not permitted to apply. Okay, and then finished goods that have been relabeled without any processing. For example, you bring 1,000 bottles of ketchup from overseas. Then because you want to put it your own brand, you took out the label and put your own label. So it is not permitted. Actually, it is not permitted under Food Act. Yeah. Okay, and then this is the Malaysia Halal Certification Schemes. You have to know which certification scheme you fall into. It is very important. It's very crucial to determine your category because a different category, slightly different requirement. Yeah. First, we have food and beverages, F&B manufacturing, and then we have logistics type of application, cosmetic products, and then we have consumer goods. Then we have pharmaceuticals, and then we have food premise or hotels kitchen for those who have hotel and they have hotels kitchen. Yeah, and then we have slaughterhouse category, and then we have medical device, and last but not least, we have original equipment manufacturing. Original equipment manufacturing is one of the very popular type of application because somehow OEM category is very business oriented and profitable. For example, you may not have a capacity to develop your own manufacturing. So what you did is you appoint other manufacturer to do or to produce product on behalf of your own brand. So here it is eligible, it is permitted to perform like that. With condition, the original equipment manufacturing is halal certified. Then you can use your own halal certificate for your own brand. Yeah. Okay. So this is the company category. Different category will be different certification fee. Yeah. So here we have schemes for food and beverages, cosmetic, pharmaceutical, personal care, logistic, contract factory, medical devices, and centralized kitchen. The category is based on your type of industry or capacity of industry. For those under micro, is different fee. Under small, only around 400 ringgit. Yeah, and then medium is 700, and then large or multinational company is 1,000 ringgit. And this fee is an annual certification fee, but halal certification is meant for 2 years. So that means you have to multiply to 2. Yeah. For example, for micro, the fee will be 200. For small will be 800. For medium will be 1,400. And for multinational company will be 2,000 ringgit. Yeah. So somehow this certification fee is the cheapest certification fee in the world. Yeah. Some of the certification body, they even charge you by SKU. Yeah, so that means if you have 500 SKU, you have to pay 500 ringgit, for example. But Malaysia, we are different. This is based on application. Yeah, if you have like 100 products, so per application mean only 200 ringgit. Yeah. Okay. All right, and this is for the company category under food premise. Food premise scheme. Under food premise scheme, we have restaurant and cafe, canteens, bakeries, chain restaurant, food truck is also eligible to apply. Okay, and then we have a cafeteria in food court, kiosk. Okay, wait, give me a few seconds. I need to put my charger on. Okay, sorry. Okay, so under food premise scheme, we have restaurant, canteens, bakeries, chain restaurant, food truck, cafeteria, and food court and kiosk. The certification fee, annual fee is only 100 ringgit. Since halal certification is for 2 years, so the fee will be 200 ringgit per application. Right, and then under food premise also we have hotels kitchen or restaurant kitchen. So for the 4 stars and above category, the fee is 500 per application or per year, per year and per application. That's mean for 2 years you need to pay 1,000 per kitchen. Yeah, and then 3 stars and above is 200 ringgit per year, and for 2 years is 400 ringgit. Okay, so food premise scheme under food catering services, conventional central kitchen. The fee is a little bit different because it depends on how big or how small is your category. So for the small category, annual turnover less than 500,000 is only 100 ringgit per year, which means 200 ringgit for 2 years. And then medium, annual turnover from 500,000 and RM 500 million, 400 per year or 800 ringgit for 2 years. And then a large category, annual turnover exceeds RM 5 million, 700 ringgit, or for 2 years is 1,400 ringgit. Okay, and for the OEM manufacturing, original equipment manufacturing, So product application that eligible to apply under this category is for F&B manufacturing, and then cosmetic product, pharmaceutical products, personal care product, and medical devices. So the fee is different based on where is the location. For the ASEAN countries, the fee is RM2,500 ringgit. And for other countries than ASEAN, the fee is 10,000 ringgit. Yeah. All right. So let's move into Malaysia halal certification requirement. Okay, so halal certification, normally I will advise applicant to do it or to understand it by phase. Normally, there is a 3 phase of application. Phase number 1, we're going to talk about the preparation of facilities, preparation of your premise, what you need to have. Yeah, and then after you have prepared your own premise, you need to prepare your supporting document, your halal supporting document. Okay, just imagine you have your own premise, okay, then you don't know what to do. And then you come to me and ask me, Mr. Jabal, what I need to do now. Okay, first I will advise about your facilities. I will ask you about your facilities. Do you have your own premise? Do you have your own under premise category? How is your receiving condition? How is your store location? So normally, the supporting document that I will ask is I need to see your plan layout, or is even better if you can invite us to go to see your premise, how it looks like. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll also advise you in terms of the preparation for SPHM or Sijil Pengesahan Halal Malaysia. We're going to ask you about your raw material, your product and your raw material. Okay. And then at the same time, we'll brief you about the contract, halal file, and halal assurance system. Okay. That will be phase number 1. Phase number 2 is once you have completing your own halal ingredients. Yeah, for example, if you have one particular product with 10 ingredients, okay, so all these 10 ingredients must prove halal by showing the halal supporting document. For example, if you're using gelatin, where is the halal cert for this gelatin? If you are using chicken, where is halal cert for this chicken? If you are using maybe a water filter, yeah, so what is the proper supporting document for this particular water filter? I need to see it. Yeah, so once all ready, we're going to transfer all this information to My eHalal or halal online application. Yeah, so you need to fill out this all online form, and at the same time we will submit hard copy list of the halal supporting document, or we call it is halal file documentation and application. We need to submit. Once we have submitted online, and within 5 working days, we need to submit all this hard copy of the halal documentation. Yeah, within 5 working days again. So why within the 5 working days? Because if you don't submit it within the 5 working days, your online application will be rejected. Okay. All right, and then phase number 3, continuous implementation. So let's say you are obtain your halal certification. Congratulations, but at the same time, you have to understand the halal certification is not forever. Yeah, it's only meant for 2 years, and you need to at least maintain your halal certification within 2 years by having proper system. So the system called Halal Assurance Management System. How are you going to prove that you are maintaining your halal integrity? Is by having your own HAS manual or Halal Assurance System manual. We need to develop it. Yeah, we have to fulfill all the requirements, and the concept of Halal Assurance System is to avoid doing non-conformance. Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is MS 1500 2019. For those who wanted to apply for Malaysia Halal certification, you need to buy this document. You need to read, you need to understand, and if you don't, please refer to someone that understand and maybe competent to explain it to you. Yeah. All right. So this is basically the content of the Malaysian standard. Under Malaysian standard, inside the Malaysian standard, it is actually part of the Manual Procedure Procedure Halal Malaysia MPPHM, or a part of the Malaysia Halal Certification is also contain Undang-Undang and Akta, Fatwa, Sistem Pengurusan Halal Malaysia, or we call it as MHMS, Malaysia Halal Management System, as well as Perkeliling or circular. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this is definition of halal according to Malaysia Halal Standard. Any food or products that A, neither is nor consists of or contains any part or matter of an animal that is prohibited by Sharia law for a Muslim to consume, or that has not been slaughtered in accordance with Sharia law. So definition number 1 is referring to animal-based product or animal-based raw material. So whenever you encounter with animal raw material, animal source of raw material, you need to prove that your raw material or product is halal by only providing recognized or valid halal certificate. That is number 1. B, does not contain anything which is impure according to Islamic law. So according to Sharia law or according to Islamic law, some of the material is considered as filth, considered as najis. Yeah, you cannot simply use najis. You cannot put it in your product. You cannot use it as part of the ingredients. Yeah, right. For example, like liquor. Yeah, liquor and its derivative is considered as non-halal and also considered as najis. Yeah, or filth. Okay, and then C, does not intoxicate according to Islamic law, anything that can cause you intoxicate effect. So it is considered as non-halal. And then D, has not in the course of preparing, processing, or storing been in contact with mixed or in close proximity to any food that fails to satisfy paragraph A and B. So this is about how you handle your raw material, your ingredients, your processing lines. It has to be separated. It has to be dedicated. Yeah. All right. And then does not contain any part of human being or its yield which are not allowed by Sharia law. For example, maybe you heard about the placenta, human placenta. Some of the country, they use human placenta to produce pharmaceutical product. So under halal, under Sharia, it is not permitted. Yeah. And at the same time, if you can see why in terms of food safety, we are encouraged or it even compulsory for us to wear hairnet. We are compulsory to use a face mask. Why? We want to avoid from the human contamination. Yeah, we don't want our hair, yeah, to be in our food. Yeah, because why? It is not permitted to use human parts as part of the ingredients. Yeah, it's considered as non-halal. Okay, F is not poisonous or hazardous to health. Anything that poisonous or hazardous or harmful or can cause you bad impact or bad effect is considered as non-halal. Yeah. For example, chicken. Chicken is considered as halal, and it is good to have halal certified chicken. But due to misconduct or lack of the way in storing the chicken itself, which cause you the chicken become not fresh anymore. It's considered spoiled. Yeah. So because of that, it's considered as non-halal, even though original is halal. Yeah. All right. And then G, has not been prepared, processed, or manufactured using any instrument that is contaminated with impure according to Sharia law. So this is part of the requirement where you need to look at your tools, you need to look at your equipment, you need to look at your machines. Yeah, some ingredients for raw materials, it is non-halal. For example, common mistake or common issue in tools and machinery is brush. Yeah, some of the brush are made of animal hair. Yeah, or even pig hair. It is not permitted, even though it is not pig hair. If it's an animal hair, it is considered as non-halal and not permitted. Number two, use machine or use equipment that may use for non-halal processing or non-halal production. It is also not permitted unless you perform certain process before you use it in your halal processing line. Yeah, so we call it as sertu. Yeah, special cleaning in case if there is a contamination happen to the particular equipment or machinery. Yeah, use machine or use tools or even use cold room. Yeah, it is compulsory to perform sertu cleaning. Yeah. Okay, so this is definition of halal and thayyiban. Yeah, halal and thayyiban is the code that come from the Quran, the Sharia itself. Halal mean halal raw material, halal equipment, and halal processing aids. Thayyiban simply means GMP or good manufacturing practice plus good hygiene practice. Yeah, so halal and thayyiban means halal in terms of raw material, equipment, and processing aids plus good manufacturing practice or GHP, good hygiene practice. It is good for applicants who already obtained their MESTI certification or their GMP certification or even HACCP certification to apply for Malaysia Halal certification. It will be easier for you to get Malaysia Halal certification. Why? Because 90% of the halal application is from the thayyiban aspect and 10% of it is on the raw material, halal raw material, halal equipment, and halal processing aids. Yeah. So for those who already obtained their HACCP certification or GMP certification, I highly recommend or encourage to obtain as soon as possible for Malaysia Halal certification. Yeah. All right. So this is the 17 requirements of Malaysia Halal certification. It starts from raw material and then followed with equipment, workers, Malaysia Halal management system, product, menu, services, labeling and packaging, sanitation, documentation and record, and then process, transportation, facilities, element of worship, storage, premise, training, OEM, and compliance with the law. So the formulation of this requirement is like this. Yeah, total of requirement is 17. If you cannot comply with one of the requirement, your application will be rejected. 17 minus 1. The answer will be equivalent to 0. Yeah. So in other words, you have to comply with all these 17 requirements. Yeah. Right? Requirement number 1 is about raw material. First, you have to use only halal raw material. Yeah, it has to be clear info on the sources, labels with material name or manufacturer name. Yeah, for example, your application, you have one product with 10 ingredients. All 10 ingredients must have information of raw material. The information consists of name of raw material, name of the manufacturer, name, address of the manufacturer, brand of the ingredients, halal certificate for ingredients, and then the expiry date for the ingredients. That is the information needed for all ingredients they are using in the application. Yeah. And then you need to have proper supporting documents such as halal certificate, SDS, management safety data sheet, product specification, or even material sources statement. It is permitted, but again, it's depending on your type of ingredients. If you are using critical ingredients, the only supporting document permitted to use is halal certification or valid halal certificate. Yeah, if it's just a chemical or something considered as no issue with halal, yeah, something like fresh vegetable, fresh fruits, fresh seafoods, no halal cert is needed. No halal supporting document is needed. Yeah, all right. And then number 4, any intermediate process such as repacking, pre-mixing need halal proof. Yeah, something that has changed or formed into another form of ingredients. Yeah, for example, like fish. Fresh fish is halal and no halal certification is needed. But because it's transformed into fish ball, now it's become critical. So you need to prove the fish ball is halal by providing proper or valid halal certificate. Okay, right. And then number 5, halal ingredient in premise should as mentioned in my e-halal. Yeah, this is for the halal premise application. For example, you have like 20 menu in your food premise. You are using maybe around 100 ingredients. Yeah, so all ingredients must be tally. Yeah, must be at the same that you are mentioned in the halal application. If you are using chicken from company ABC, so ingredient that you are using in the food premise is also must be from the company ABC. You cannot declare company ABC in your My E-Halal, but you are using different ingredients or different source of chicken in your outlet or in your restaurant. It is not permitted. It has to be tally in whatever that you are declaring in the My E-Halal online application. Okay. All right. So this is some of the indicator that might very useful for you to use as a reference. Yeah. So critical ingredient. What is critical ingredient? It is animal-based product or complex product or processed product that normally may use meat products or may derive from the oil or fat derivative. Yeah. And then something to do with coloring, flavoring, sauces, ketchup, toyu, kan? Vinegar, it is all considered as critical ingredient. So supporting document for this kind of raw material, you have no choice but to prove it halal by having valid halal certificate or product specification, material safety data sheet, or product process flow. The best is valid halal certificate. If you have the valid halal certificate, you don't have to prove it with other documents. Yeah. And then we have semi-critical ingredients. Yeah, minimally processed product from plant, seafood, herbs, and spices, such as frozen fish. It is considered semi-critical because the only process involved in the process is you only putting the fish inside the freezer. That's all. No extra ingredients, no other ingredient is using in order to make it freeze. Yeah, all right, so it's permitted. Other than that, something like black pepper powder. If it just black pepper powder, you can just prove it halal by having product specification or product process flow. But if you're mixing black pepper with other ingredients such as MSG, which is considered as critical ingredients, then you need to prove the particular MSG is halal certified. Okay. All right, and then non-critical ingredients such as fresh items, vegetables and seafood, fresh fruits. Yeah, it is non-critical. No supporting document is needed. Okay, last we call it as haram, or non-halal, prohibited to use. The things or action that you need to perform is you have to drop the ingredients from your application, or you have to change to other halal material. Yeah. All right. Okay, this is requirement number 2, product menu and services. Number 1, product name and form or representation must be suitable with halal images. Yeah. Number 1, for example, cosmetic product. Yeah. you have to be careful. Sometimes cosmetic product, they use sexy women, yeah, to portray the effectiveness of using the product itself. So it's not permitted. It has to be in line with Sharia, yeah. And then all products should have production records, minimum 3 months, and then product net weight as declared on labels. This is also part of the Food Act or the Labeling Act requirement, yeah, need to have net weight. Okay, for the R&D products, number one, it is permitted or it is eligible to apply, but with condition. Number one, approved by management, and then ready to commercialize. Third, no changes in material upon application. Yeah. Okay, requirement number 3 is about processing. Okay, so processing, number one, you have to comply with regulation in terms of raw material. Yeah, so in the processing line, the permitted ingredient to use is only halal certified or halal ingredients, yeah, or halal raw materials. And then in the processing line, you have to implement GHP, good hygiene practice, or GMP. Yeah, the question is GHP or GMP compulsory to impose in the processing line? Yes, but it is not necessary for you to be certified GMP or GHP. That means if you don't have GMP certification, it is okay to apply. It is permitted to apply. Yeah, but it will be better if you have the certification itself. Yeah. Okay, and then it has to be in clean and safe environment processing line. You have to store away chemicals or non-related material. Sometimes this in the processing line, applicant tend to put extra raw material or unused equipment. Cannot, it is not permitted. The best for you to understand what is 5S and then implement 5S as part of the processing requirement. Yeah. In fact, 5S concept is also part of the GMP requirement. Yeah. What is the 5S? Sorting, apa lagi ya? Sorting, sweep away, yeah, and then stow away. Okay. Proper arrangement, seragam, and other things lah. Okay, and then negative implication is not permitted. Processing line and inside the processing line, no religious activity in processing area. No religious activity in processing area. So outside of the processing area, it is permitted. All right, and then requirement number 4, storage. You are halal material only. Okay, it has to be material or finished goods or trading items halal only. Yeah, sometimes you have a big premise, you have big storage, and then you want to put your other material, yeah, or maybe your personal belonging. It is not permitted. Yeah, if it's a raw material, it has to be halal. It has to be related with the application. Yeah. And then label and segregated according to product, item, categories, nature of product. For example, R&D products, raw material, finished good, reject item need to be labeled. Yeah. For example, how to label: name of the product, name of the raw material, intended use, date of using, when do you open the packaging. Yeah. Right, then we have to separate equipment, material, and product which is not related to the halal processing. All production shall not be stored together. The concept to implement is FIFO, first in, first out. Yeah. Okay, and then condition must be in good condition, well-maintained condition, and also suitable with nature of product. For example, if you are storing perishable ingredients, it has to be in certain temperature storage. If you are using if you are storing dry raw material, yeah, or dry ingredients, so certain location is needed. Yeah. Right. And then procedure and record, SOP, to clearly describe activity, material movement record, receiving record, cleaning record, pest control record, okay, and other record that may be required during visit by the auditor. Yeah. And then requirement number 5, tools and equipment. Okay, you have to keep cleaning. You have to have a proper document. Yeah. To keep your specification of ingredient, raw material, cleaning records, maintenance record, calibration records for the equipment, purchase record, yeah, for second-hand items, and then you have to put away or segregate or remove broken tools, unused tools, or negative impact confusing tools. For example, like brush, yeah, you may have brush looks like animal hair, yeah, you better to put away. Or maybe something like unused water filter, which is non-halal certified, or doubtful water filter, you have to put it away. Yeah. All right. And then tools, equipment from animal source unless proven halal. Proven halal mean support with certified with halal or valid halal certification. Okay, requirement number 6, packaging requirement, label requirement, and promotion. Material made of safe material and suitable with nature of product. For example, for hot products, yeah, for hot temperature product to be kept, yeah, it has to be suitable. The packaging must be suitable, yeah, which is not gonna affect for safety, yeah. And then product name, flavoring, and representation not similar to non-halal product or material. And then complete label information such as product name, net weight, ingredients, manufacturer address, manufacturing country, traceability code, for example, batch number and expiry date. It is important for you to comply with this requirement because it is part of the Food Act requirement. Yeah. And then product representation and advertisement must be aligned with halal, aligned with syarat and halal, and also claiming which is suitable with product category. Claiming mean, for example, if you are producing pharmaceutical or supplement product, yeah, you cannot simply claim that product is may cure some illness. Yeah, it is not permitted. After all, prior to halal application, you need to have notification from the MPRA. Then only you can apply for Malaysia halal certification. Okay, Madam Shirley, do we still have some time, or we are running out of time?
Yes. Are you? You still have a lot to present because we have a lot of questions coming from the audience.
Okay, I try to speed up.
Okay, if you could speed up a little bit because everyone is asking questions right now. The chat box is really full.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. And then number 7, regarding transportation and delivery, it has to be suitable with product nature. For those perishable item, frozen product, need to transfer by using a proper container, proper box, yeah. And then specific for halal products only, must be well clean and well maintained. So in order for us to prove it is clean and well maintained, it is good for you to have your cleaning records. Okay, and then valid contract with third-party halal transporter. For example, you don't use your own transport, you appoint third-party company. So you need to have like agreement between you and this company to say that this company only transporting halal product. So we want to avoid non-halal cross-contamination. Yeah. And if contamination happen with najis mukhallaza or severe najis, sertu must be implemented. Yeah. Right. And then requirement number 8, premise. Generally, requirement for premise is you have to comply with good manufacturing practice. Yeah. All area include canteen, office, and hostel must be free from non-halal material. It has to be well cleaned, well maintained, and the facilities are developed and built to avoid cross-contamination, such as you have fence, you have say security guard, You have like regular maintenance, no processing direct on the floor. Yeah, and then we have proper lighting and ventilation. There is a plan layout to see proper process flow, and then pest control implemented. And then for those who have a hostel or workers room, it is permitted with condition. It has to be separate building, or if in the same building, shall have a separate entrance to the processing area. There is no direct road from the employee's residence to the processing area, and have an effective mechanism control to avoid from workers directly enter your processing line. Right, 9 requirement workers, Muslim workers. Number 1, for those who intend to apply for Malaysian Halal certification, you need to have Muslim Malaysian workers. So it starts from the Halal executive, and then it has to be, if you have a processing line, so it is need to have Muslim workers in your processing line. In other words, this is part of the requirement for the Malaysia Halal Management System. And beside Muslim workers, beside Halal executive, it is important for you to have internal Halal committee. Internal Halal committee consists of Halal exec, consists of Halal supervisor or Halal chairman, and then you need to have Muslim workers from the processing line, as well as the representative from the purchasing department. Okay, requirement number 10, sanitation. Emphasize on housekeeping, cleanliness, and safety measure. Look at the personal hygiene, personal grooming, and then raw material and processing aids, sanitation. You need to have like proper SOP to wash your raw material and processing aids. And then look at the waste management, how you properly maintain your waste management by having partial, for example, for wet garbage and then dry garbage, or maybe recycle policy. It is a proper waste management. And then manufacturing facilities, it has to be regularly and schedulely sanitized. Pest control contract is the proof that you need to show to the auditor. And then for the hand washing and dustbin, it has to be suitable facility. For example, if you have your own hand wash station, it has to be complete with soap, it has to be complete with towel, a dryer. So it is complete hand wash facility. And dustbin, for example, it's not just a dustbin, that it has to be hands-free dustbin, automated hands-free dustbin. So every time you throw your garbage away, it will close and avoid from the contamination of odor, contamination of pests. And then it has to be separated and segregated if you are using chemicals. So if you have chemical, you have detergent, it has to be in separate room or dedicated room. It cannot put in the same place or same room with the raw material or food material. Okay, and then facilities and amenities, rest area, we have to look at the proper size and location. And every big company or every facilities need to have a prayer area or surau for Muslim workers. And then management also need to give permission for Muslim workers to perform their prayer. And then other amenities such as changing room, locker, or storage for personal item. Number 12 is requirement for training. Sufficient resources provided by management, funds, and infrastructure. You will need to have records of training that have been performed in your premise, in your company. For example, it is compulsory for workers to attend Halal awareness program, and it is also compulsory for the internal Halal committee to attend Halal competency program. So once everybody has attended the program, record or certificate or attendance list must be put in a well-documented record. Right. Okay, so this is the item, and what is the training topic need to attend, and then who need to attend, who is the provider, and then when it should be organized. Yeah. For example, talking about the halal executive need to be halal. It need to be certified under HPB, Halal Professional Board Pusat Latihan Halal. Yeah. Okay. It's only once. It's only once for a lifetime. Yeah. It's not regularly trained. It's just once in a lifetime for the personnel, for the halal executive himself. Okay. Requirement number 13. Malaysia Halal Management System. So this is the document that we're going to have in order for us to maintain halal certification, to maintain the halal integrity. Okay, for the large and medium industry type of document, we call it as the halal assurance system. For the small industry, we call it as the internal halal control system manual. And for the micro industry, same document for the small industry. It's different. It's slightly different documents. Yeah, it's slightly different SOP and even process. Yeah. Okay, documentation and record. So this is type of document and type of file that you need to keep in your premise that may related directly with halal application or indirectly with halal application. So document that directly involved with halal certification is the halal application file, worker record and training record related to halal training and halal production. And then halal assurance system file, internal halal control system, pest control. This is indirectly requirement under halal certification. It is also required under food safety or under MESTI or under GMP, but it is also part of the halal application as well. And then cleaning and sanitation record, processing record, purchasing record. So this for record is also required under GMP. At the same time, it is also required under halal. You don't need to submit this record for the application, but auditor will come and ask for the record. Yeah. All right. So next is a requirement number 15, worship elements. Any tools and elements of worship should not be in the processing area. It is not permitted. But if you have your own specific or dedicated area for this purpose, it is permitted. Yeah, but not in the processing area. Okay, 16, halal certification requirement. This is just a statement to say that any application must comply with other regulation, such as regulation from the local authority, requirement for the pharmaceutical under NPRA, National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, under Drugs and Poison Act, under Department of Veterinary Service requirement, under Food Act and Food Regulation, or any other requirement based on product category, and it will equivalent to the compliance. Last but not least, requirement 17, for the contract manufacturing OEM, factory must apply for and obtain SPHM or Sijil Pengesahan Halal Malaysia at the first time under the contract manufacturing OEM scheme before offering OEM services to other company. You need to be halal certified before you can offer your service to other brand owner or to other company. Yeah. Then only the other brand owner or the other company can register their application under the brand to use the halal logo. Okay. Right. So this is the phase of the My eHalal online application. Right. So this is the list of the document that you need to submit. Company registration, license, a copy of financial statement, and then a copy of identification card, IC, for these two Muslim Malaysian workers at your production line, list of product or menu, and then supporting document for raw materials and water filter. If you are using water filter, your water filter must be halal certified. Yeah. And then product label, map location of premise, and then a copy of online application from My eHalal system. This is the flow. Yeah, you need to fill up the document first, and then first you need to register eHalal online application. Then you will be given with ID and password. Okay, and then we're going to fill up all the information needed in the My eHalal online application. Okay, once complete, we will submit online within 5 working days. Together with the online submission, we will submit hard copy of the supporting document. Okay, and then what happened next is evaluation of application documents. If the document is incomplete, it will bounce back to applicant to do the rectification. If the document is complete, the next process will be JAKIM or Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri will issue charge fee later. Yeah, charge fee later. And then once payment has been made by the applicant, they will schedule for the audit. Okay, and then they will perform audit at your place, and then report from the audit will be tabled during panel meeting, and then they will decide whether you are eligible, whether you are competent, whether you are eligible to be Halal certified or not. If there is a rectification need to be made, it will be bounced back to applicant, and we will make our rectification. Then we will do the reapplication. Okay, right, and then if everything is okay, halal certification will be issued, and then don't forget, once in a year or maybe in 2 years, there will be a monitoring and enforcement done by the authority. Okay, last thing, tuan-tuan dan puan, last but not least, this is the verify halal. Once you are halal certified, your data, your information, your company will be listed in Verify Halal, and everybody from all over the world, from the 178 countries, can view your products, can see your product, and may place order. Yeah, so this is a good thing about Verify Halal. So Verify Halal, in other words, I can say it is data platform for company that have been halal certified by JAKIM, and also company that have been halal certified by halal certification body recognized by JAKIM. So as a conclusion, how halal can benefit your business? Halal is universal and suitable for everyone. We are focusing on the suitability of food consumed by human. Plus, it is required by 1.8 billion of population. So now it become a business. Yeah. So by having a proper or correct halal recognition, it will allow your product to penetrate globally and increase profitability. Halal certification from credible halal certification body provide assurance on product integrity, thus attract trust from consumer, especially from Muslim consumer. With that, thank you so much. It's like running marathon.
Thank you very much, Ustaz. You know, while you were speaking just now, there were so many questions that came in, and a lot of them, I think, were already answered by your colleagues. You know, while they were asking questions, your colleague were already answering them. But I can actually now pick up some of them where they are not being answered just yet. So do you want to take a short break? Sorry, you cannot afford to take any break. I'm going to go straight into Q&A because there are just so many questions.
Sure.
Now, I have this question from Jiahui Lim. The question is, do we need to resubmit documentation or apply halal for an ingredient if we change the brand of the product? You know, maybe from a different manufacturing site, for example, changing sugar brand A to sugar brand B. You know, and how long would this change of ingredient be approved, you know, so that the facility can be used?
Okay, for ingredients change, okay, you don't need to reapply. You just need to inform your Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri, that's all. But if you have your new product coming in, then only you will need to do reapplication. Ingredients, no reapplication.
Okay.
New product, yes, reapplication. Okay.
Okay, right. Okay, I have this question. It's a very good question, I feel. You know, it is being asked by CK Teo. You know, his question is, why do we place so much of emphasis on water filtration system when water itself is a natural thing? It's a natural ingredient. Yes. Why is it that we have to put so much emphasis into that?
Yes, thank you. That is very good question. Okay, have you ever wondered why Kuwait is halal certified? Kowe, kuku, they are all halal certified. So the reason being is because there is one particular raw material using in this water filter called activated carbon. So these activated carbon are made of animal bone. It is
I
made of
see.
animal bone. So because of that, water filter is widely used in the food production or food processing line.
I see.
So we don't want to cause any non-halal contamination. So because of that, water filter is also need to have halal cert or product specification to prove that this particular water filter are not made of the animal bone. Yeah,
That's great. Yeah, that's I think it's a very clear answer to that. Now, there's this question from Josephine. If our customer is Halal certified company and we are trading company with a few of our raw materials being certified as Halal by the manufacturer, and her question is relating to third-party transportation. Yeah, her question is: do we require to appoint a Halal certified third-party transporter to deliver our Halal certified raw materials to our Halal certified customers?
Okay, not necessarily, not compulsory. But if you intend to promote or to advertise that you are halal trader, then only you have to look at the requirement. You have to prove that all your logistic line, your transportation line is halal. If not, then just keep quiet and business as usual.
I see. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Halal certification is not compulsory. After all, you are only trading company. You are not manufacturing company.
Okay. So you can just continue to trade. You know, you do not need to intentionally bring up, that issue. Am I right to say that, Ustaz? Okay, great. Okay, this is another very good question. The question is from Chris. Yeah, the question is, my customer is a Halal certified company and will buy material A from me, and I have a certified Halal material A, but my customer requires manufacturing date and expiry date on certificate and certificate of analysis. So meaning on the certificate analysis, the customer requires manufacturing date and expiry date. So, but the product A is non-perishable product, So does that have to have this expiry date that my customer is insisting?
Okay, sometimes this is the requirement, extra requirement asked from the specific customer. Yeah, it may not be regulate or it's not maybe compulsory under certification requirement, but sometimes your own customer, they are forced or they are required to prove it by having extra information. So again, it may not be a certification requirement, but it is required by your own customer or your specific customer. That's all. Yeah?
Okay. All right. This question pertains to letter already being sent to company to say that they have been approved in terms of their halal certification, but the certificate will not be delivered immediately. So in the process of waiting for the certificate to be issued, can the company already say that they are halal certified?
Technically cannot. Technically cannot. Okay?
Technically tak boleh curi-curi kan?
Technically tak boleh. But somehow, this is what we call tolerate budi bicara.
Okay.
Sometimes this is also happening to us as a consultant. We will advise for applicant to use, there is a letter, online letter in the application that saying you are in the processing. You are in the processing. So you can print out the letter and send to your customer ke guest to say that you are in the middle of application. So sometimes it's work. Sometimes they receive it. Sometimes they can accept it as part of your commitment to say that you are towards halal certification. But again, it's subject to your how good are you in pursuing this letter.
Wow. Okay. So that's a little risk. Can I say that?
Yes,
just
of
in
course.
case.
Because it's just a letter to say that you are in the midst of application. You are technically not halal certified. It's just to say that you are committed to be certified. That's all.
Yeah, Ustaz, I mean, if this question has been, talked about much, and then there has been kind of, filed as a complaint that the final halal certificate is being issued kind of late. I mean, would you be able to then talk to the authority that between the issuance of letter and the final issuance of halal certificate, can the gap be narrow? I mean, I think it's very important because this brings to another question from, another audience of ours, right? He received this letter of approval, but while waiting for the halal certificate, he has to do like marketing material to promote that the restaurants or whatever products that he intends to market is halal certified. But he can't do so because, a lot of this material has to be printed sometimes for distribution. But there's a risk because if you say that you're halal certified, what you have is only a letter, not the final certificate. I think it is important for the authority to be told that, the gap needs to be narrowed down. Would you agree?
Okay. All right. I think it's happening now, but JAKIM is rectifying the issue. Issue have been solved, I can say, start from last month. We are aware that recently there is an issue from JAKIM because why I said JAKIM because all the certification application from all states from Malaysia will be submitted to JAKIM. JAKIM is the center to issue the hard copy of the certificate. Okay,
I see.
They are having trouble with that. But recently, I think start from this month, they have issued the backdated issue with certification and start to issue all the certification. Okay, my suggestion is, okay, number one, you may have been halal certified. The proof is your application in online application in the halal directory, in the verify halal, said that you are halal. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, for me, you can start promote. You can tell everybody that you are halal certified. If you don't believe, if your customer don't believe, they can refer anytime to the My Halal system, to halal directory, or even verify halal. It's just a matter of the hard copy of the logo of the cert. That's all.
Okay.
In other way, you can prove it by showing them the online
the portal,
or verify halal system.
Okay, all right.
Actually,
sounds good.
Towards to the e-document, e-halal certificate. So in the future, you don't have to wait for this hard copy document. You will be awarded with this e-cert directly once you are halal certified.
I suppose with the advancement in technology, things will be faster that way, right? Once you receive the letter, your cert will be posted. So that's the thing that JAKIM is working towards. I mean, according to what you say. Am I right? But meanwhile,
the issue is because of that. They need some time to transform this matter. There is a time where we can say it's like a buffer before you do digitalization. Something needs to be done at the back end.
Okay, I have a very interesting question here. Is it true that Japanese restaurants do not get halal certified at all? I find it very interesting is because I mean, I love Japanese food, but I've not seen it being halal certified. Is this true, Ustaz?
It's not true. It is not true. Japanese food is one of my favorite food, and I have consult, I think, at least 5 company to be halal certified.
I see.
There is 2 in the midst of application. One, I can say the brand is Nippon Sushi. Nippon Sushi. They have a lot of outlet all over the Malaysia, and one of the not so premium is Aeon. So we have some kind of Japanese food in Aeon, right? Under La Boheme brand, something like that. So they are all halal certified.
Okay. Okay. There's this question that I just received. He says that, good afternoon, Ustaz, to form this halal committee for food-based company restaurant, is it compulsory that the committee members and halal executive must be Muslim, or can they actually practice other religion?
Okay, there is 2 type of application here. Number one, if you are only own one restaurant, so it will be a little bit easier. All you need to have is one Muslim Malaysian supervisor
I see.
one Muslim Malaysian supervisor, and another one is one Muslim workers at your kitchen area. That's all. Okay. If you are franchise restaurant, if you have more than 2 restaurants, you need to develop your own internal halal committee. So internal halal committee consists of halal chairman. It may not be a Muslim chairman. It's best to have Muslim chairman. But if you don't have Muslim chairman, non-Muslim chairman is also permitted. Number 2, under chairman is halal executive. This halal executive need to attend halal executive program, certified pusat latihan halal under HPB, and then under the halal exec, you need to have the Muslim Malaysian workers at your kitchen. So it's different, depend on your restaurant. Yeah.
Okay. So in essence, it does not mean that you need everyone to be a Muslim, right? Okay.
Very minimum.
Okay. Right. I have this question. Actually, I gather from several questions being asked. I think it relates to something like this. If I'm if I'm actually either manufacturing or importing a large bulk of products which have been certified as halal, but in the course of my business, I need to break them down and put them into like different packaging. You know, so in all this packaging, do I need to then apply for another halal license or not?
Yeah, so, it is best for you to apply.
Wow. So when you have the bulk material being certified as halal and you break them down into smaller packaging, into different packages, it will be important for them to apply for halal certification.
Yes, we call it as a repackaging.
Okay.
Repackaging. Because this is actually what happened in the industry. For example, particularly this happened to the bakery products. Yeah. They supply to hotels, they supply to restaurants, they supply to small bakery shop. Yeah,
I see.
And then this bakery shop, they are supply to smaller entrepreneur. So every time we do inspection, we do visit, we found that this packaging is very lack of information. There is no proper label, no proper information, and there is no halal logo or halal cert to prove that this product is halal. So I will highly recommend all these repackaging products, all these repackaging manufacturer, please apply for halal certification for the sake of your customer and end user.
Okay. So we have an audience by the name of SN. I suppose the answer you gave just now would answer his or her question, because she is also in bakery ingredients field, and it's been mentioned here that most of the products are being repackaged, right? Repackaged. And it's understandable that we can apply for repacking halal, but we plan to innovate our own premixed flour, with their own recipe. So the question is, here, do we need to apply more than one halal certificates? One for repacking, another one is for the newly innovated products itself.
Yes, it could be like that. Yeah, it depends. We have to understand further. We have to ask you, okay, whether this is maybe number 1 is your repacking, but it's also considered as your product. Number 2, newly formulated menu of products. Okay, it's also considered as your product. It could be like that, no issue. Yeah, okay. So it means it's gonna be 2 products. 1 is repacking. Number 2 is your own formulated products. It could be like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, due to time, maybe we take the last 1 or 2 questions. Ustaz, is it okay?
Okay.
Okay. There's this question that just came in from EC. Yeah. The question is there any difference between halal certification for the purpose of local sales and products to be exported to overseas?
Okay, under Malaysia halal certification, the requirement is the same. The requirement is the same. Yeah, for example, if you are producing your product in Malaysia, whether for local purpose or export purpose, requirement is still the same.
I see.
Okay.
Right. Okay. We are coming to the tail end of today's webinar. But before you go, I still have 1 more question, if you don't mind. There has been some deliberation in the field to say that some companies are required to have like 3 months result. They have to prove, their bank statement, their financial results and all before they apply for halal certificates. But then a lot of them, they would have used a lot of cash flows in their renovation and their startup. How is it that they can actually provide, like a viable kind of financial position and bank statement, when they cannot even start business at all? You know what I'm talking about? They're waiting, they want to apply for halal, certification, but then they are asked to already provide this sort of information to JAKIM. So, Ustaz, what is your opinion in this?
Okay, first you need to know that why JAKIM required a financial statement. They are required you to submit financial statement because they want to know which type of company are you, whether are you a large company or SME or small or micro company. That is number one. So because of that, they want to see your financial statement. For those who just join or just develop their own company less than maybe a year, you can provide your bank statement. You can provide bank statement and submit your bank statement to say that you are operating less than a year. You don't even have your audited financial statement. So it is permitted. So normally for the new company, the charge will be under small company, because you just started.
So can I rephrase it a little bit? So this company is new, right? So obviously had used a lot of money in renovation. So it's okay for them to just give the bank statement as it is.
Yes.
So, okay. All right. It's good to know. Now, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the very end of our webinar today. And I just want to say that, the organizer has kindly consented to give out the slides to all the audience. Am I right, Ustaz? The office responded that slides will be given to all the, participants today, because so many of them asked this question,
So we're glad to share, but at the same time, we are waiting for you to call us. And
okay, so would you want to at least have their email address before you give it to them?
Yes.
Would that be fair? So okay. That's good. That's good. So for the information of everyone, so do provide us with your email address, then we can extend a copy of the slide presentation to you. So with this, I would like to say thank you once again to our VIP yang berbahagia, Dato' Tan Tien Ming, for his welcoming speech, Dato' Liao Chun Liang, who stayed with us throughout, and our guest speaker, Ustaz Muhammad Jabbar, for the informative and interesting presentation. So hopefully this webinar has been most beneficial and fruitful to all of you. But just in case you have more questions to ask, what we can do is that we can be a bridge where you can pose the questions to us. We will try to get Ustaz's office to respond to your questions. And finally, please be reminded that COVID cases are still high, right? So we may ignore the virus, but the virus is definitely not ignoring us or avoiding us. So please stay safe and please take care. And some of you actually did ask as well, how can you get first-hand information of coming webinars, that you want to attend? Just need to log on to our website, www.accim.com. And thank you everyone for your participation. Have a great day ahead. Bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.